Hello, this is Mrs. Hall. Today we are going to be learning one-step equations and how to solve for each equation. To solve for an equation, it means that your goal is to isolate your variable. So basically you want to get the letter, which is the variable, by itself on one side of the equal sign. When solving, you use inverse operations. They're also called opposite operations. So if they give you adding, you will subtract. If they give you subtracting, you add. But if the number appears first, if they give you a positive number, the opposite is a negative number. And if they give you a negative number, the opposite is a positive number. And then also, if they use multiplication, you divide. If they use division, you multiply. So basically, adding is the opposite of subtracting. Multiplying is the opposite of dividing. You need to know those two things without a doubt. Part of your assignment for today is a worksheet. That worksheet contains 30 questions. We will do the odds together, and you will do the even. So I recommend you take notes and you write this down so it will help you complete the worksheet easily. Alrighty, number one. Number one, they say 26 is equal to 8 plus v. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, what is the variable? The variable is the letter, and the only letter in this problem is the v. So we want to get v by itself, which means we want to get rid of this 8 here. To do that, there is like this invisible plus sign here because it's a positive 8. Do this so you can see better. There's an invisible plus sign because it's a positive 8, and the opposite of a positive is negative, so we're going to subtract. So I'm going to draw a little line down my equal sign, and the only way I'm allowed to subtract 8 is if I do it to both sides of the equal sign. So this line here, I have to do it once on this side and once on this side, and then the addition property of equality will allow me to do that. So I can subtract 8 from both sides. Of course, my pen just died. Give me 30 seconds, I'm sorry. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. And in the meantime, think about what 26 minus 8 would be. 26 minus 8. Alrighty. So 26 minus 8 is going to be 18. So remember that. And again, our goal is to get v by itself. So once we can get rid of this 8, and v is by itself on one side of the equal sign, then our job is complete. Okay? Alright, so if I subtract 8 from both sides, 8 minus 8, this part will always cancel. My equal sign will always stay along this line. So I have v left by itself, and 26 minus 8 we said was 18. Is my variable by itself? Yes, it is, so I can say that 18 is equal to v. Or, either way works. V equals 18. You can flip-flop it either way. They will both work. They will both get the job done. Let's look at number 3. Number 3 says 15 plus b is equal to 23. I'm going to draw a short line down my equal sign. So again, we have a positive 15, and the opposite of a positive 15 is a minus 15, which is negative. So we're going to subtract. 15 minus 15 is 0, so that will cancel. We're solving for b, so my b is going to come down. Okay? My equal sign will stay where this line was at. That will not move. And 23 minus 15, take a second to think about that. 23 minus 15 is 8. So B is equal to 8. Our variable is by itself, so the problem is complete. Alrighty. Number 5 on the worksheet says that m plus 4 is equal to negative 12. Draw a small line down my equal sign. Now first and foremost, we have a negative number. When we use these negative numbers, don't forget that you should have number lines. Use those number lines as a resource so you don't mess up your answer from the simple math. Even if you get the steps right but you do the math wrong with negative numbers, it will be incorrect. So be sure that you're using your number lines as a resource until you get the hang of negative numbers. Alright, so our variable in this case is m. Currently m, we're adding 4 to it, and the opposite of adding is subtracting, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides of the equal sign. So my 4 minus 4 will be 0, it will cancel out. I have m, my equal sign will remain the same, and negative 12 minus 4, negative 12 minus 4 is negative 16. M is by itself, therefore we are done. Number 7, m minus 9 is equal to negative 13. Again, our variable is m. Currently we're subtracting 9. The opposite of subtracting 9 is adding 9. Those will cancel, and m is equal to negative 13 plus 9 would be negative 4. Number 9, I have v minus 15 is equal to negative 27. Our variable in this case is v. We're currently subtracting 15, and the opposite of subtracting is adding, so we will add 15 to both sides. Negative 15 plus 15 equals 0. They will cancel. I have v equals negative 27 plus 15 is negative 12, I believe. V is by itself, therefore we are complete. Number 11, I have negative 104 is equal to 8x. The variable is the x. Now 8 is directly attached to the x with nothing in between. That means there is an invisible multiplication sign in between. So if we're currently multiplying by 8, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we will divide both sides. Again, our job is to get x by itself. So we want to get rid of this 8, so we're going to divide by 8 so they will cancel. So x, and again you can have a line through this if it helps you keep the equal signs together. And negative 104 divided by 8 is negative 13. X is by itself, so we're finished. We can also put x on the left side and put x is equal to negative 13. Either way would work. Okay. Let's look at number 13. Number 13, I've got negative 6 is equal to b over 18. The variable in this problem is b. And currently it's being divided by 18 because don't forget this line here means division. And the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So if I multiply both sides by 18, so write this up here, times 18, these 18s will cancel. I will have b left, and negative 6 times 18 is negative 104. I'm sorry, negative 108. B is by itself, therefore our problem is complete. Number 15. We have v over 8 equals 2. Again, our variable is v. We're currently dividing by 8, and the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides. And we're going to multiply by 8. That way we can get v by itself. So then we have v equals, and 2 times 8 is 16. V is by itself, so we're done. V equals 16. Number 17, we have negative 15x is equal to 0. Our variable is x. Negative 15 is currently being multiplied by x, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to set our line down the equal sign. We're going to divide both sides by negative 15. We want to get x by itself, so we're going to get rid of the negative sign as well. And then I have x is equal to 0 divided by negative 15. 0 divided by anything will always just stay 0. X is by itself, so then we're done. Number 19, I have 21 is equal to negative 7 times n. Our variable is n, and they're currently being multiplied. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I'm going to divide both sides. To get n by itself, I have to get rid of the negative 7, so I will divide both sides by negative 7. These will cancel, which gives me n. And then 21 divided by 7 is 3. This has an invisible plus sign. Since they have different signs, our answer will end up being negative. Number 21, I have negative 126 is equal to 14k. So our variable is the letter. Variable represents an unknown number. We're trying to figure out what k would be. So currently 14 is being multiplied by k. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so we're going to divide both sides by 14. Our 14s will cancel. K is equal to negative 126 divided by 14. This is a positive 14, so they have different signs. Our answer will be negative, and 126 divided by 14 is 9. K is by itself. Our problem is complete. 23, I have negative 16 plus x is equal to negative 15. We're trying to get x by itself. Alrighty. And then the opposite of negative 16 is a positive 16, so we're going to add 16 to both sides. Those will cancel, and I have x equals negative 15 plus 16 is 1. X is by itself, so we're done. 25. We have negative 17 is equal to x minus 15. Our variable is x. It's currently, I'm subtracting 15 from it, so the opposite of subtracting is adding. We will add 15 to both sides of the equal sign. We must do it to both sides of the equal sign. If not, it does not remain true. So we drop our x down. Negative 17 plus 15 is negative 2. X is by itself. We're complete. 27, v over 7 is equal to 8. Our variable is v, and it's being divided by 7. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. We're going to multiply both sides by 7. And then I have v is equal to whatever 8 times 7, and 8 times 7 is 56. V is by itself, so we are complete. I like to highlight my variables because it helps me keep track of it, so we know that we're getting rid of what we need to get v by, or whatever variable the variable is by itself. And last one, number 29. is negative 7 plus m is equal to 8. The opposite of negative 7 is a positive 7. So we're going to add 7. The reason why I'm doing that is our variable is m, so I want to get rid of this here. Alright, so these will cancel. M is equal to 8 plus 7, which is 15. M is by itself, so we're done. So you guys are to do the evens 2 through 30.